Welcome, cooks, to the Recipe Vault. Today we have a recipe collection straight from York, Pennsylvania. This recipe collection I dug through. Today we're making Suzie's pound cake. It's actually on two separate handwritten cards, one note and one card. So since it's so special they wrote it twice, we're going to make it today, right? We're going to see if York, Pennsylvania has a good pound cake. So, welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. Okay, so every Sunday we do something called the Recipe Vault. And what that is we're cooking out of private home cook recipe collections. So I get these recipe card boxes that are completely filled with handwritten recipes. They come from every era. They could be from before the 1940s, could be from the 70s, 90s, even could be a current recipe collection. But I think it's really fun because we're sort of paying homage to the home cook and not just like cooking off the web or out of cookbooks, right? These are their handwritten collections. So we have this cute little recipe box and it's filled with all these recipe cards. This recipe box came from York, Pennsylvania. I don't know if it was originally from York, but I bought it at an auction and that's where it's shipped from. So I'm just for giggles saying this is from York, Pennsylvania, right? So what we have in this box is tons of handwritten recipes. This one was typed, but most of these are handwritten. Look at that. So this is why I love the Recipe Vault so much, because we get to cook what cooks are cooking, right? Home cooks. So this recipe we're doing today is Suzie's pound cake. And what I find that's interesting about it is it's written on like a note sheet, and then maybe they transferred it over to a recipe card. So this could have been someone really important in this person's life. Suzie could have been an aunt, a friend, a relative, right? We don't know who Suzie is, but today, Suzie, we're making your pound cake, right? One thing that's interesting about this recipe is there's no actual instructions. And since I have enough experience making, batters and stuff like that, I can kind of figure out that the way they put this little line here, these are your dry ingredients. So we're going to mix the dry ingredients. We're going to cream these wet ingredients, and then we're going to slowly add the milk, dry, and the milk, wet ingredients in there, along alternating with the flour. It says bake for 350 for 1 hour and 5 minutes. If we're using mini loaves, 35 minutes cook time. So I think it's kind of interesting that not only is Suzie's recipe in this collection once, it's in here twice, right? So let me heat up the oven, wash my hands, and we'll start making Suzie's pound cake. So I have a little bit of allergies going on today. So we are honoring Suzie's pound cake recipe by making it in the Ankarsrum Stand Mixer. Now we've done several recipes in this mixer. We've even done some cookies. This is a bottom drive mixer. If you've never seen this mixer, I'll put a link up here and in the description so you can take a look at it. We have to take the traditional Ank bowl off it here.
Oh no.
This is my Ankarino. Oh no.
Oh no, oh no.
And we're going to put the post in here. And then we're going to put this plastic bowl on. And this is going to operate similar to the Bosch. We have this, it's like a hub, and you go ahead and to put the hub together, you put these pieces in like this, and we're going to be using like these little paddles. And this is what you use to make batters, cake batters. And you just snap them on here. And that's how it sits on the hub. And then the hub sits on here, similar to how the Bosch is. So in this instance, normally the Anks bowl goes around, right? This one here is a stationary bowl, and our hub here with the paddles are gonna go around. So I got the oven heated up, and let me get the ingredients over here. Okay, Susie tells us to put 1 stick of butter. It's a half a cup. And a half a cup of shortening. I don't know. I think traditionally, like pound cake recipes, you would say, it would say like, put a pound of this, pound of this, pound of this. I don't know how big of recipes they were making. This seemed like quite a bit though. And we're going to cream a lot of sugar in here. This is 3 cups of sugar. That seems like a lot, so we're going to have to just have small pieces. This is one great thing about the Ank, because it's like straight pour in. Ooh, the sound of that mixer is glorious. It's a lot of sugar to a cup, basically a cup of fat, so I don't think it's going to cream quite like it does normally. Let me scrape this down. Yeah, because it's so much sugar, it's not quite creaming exactly as I'm used to, because there's so much sugar with not a lot of butter. We have 5 eggs. Turn that down a little so. Very nice, Ankarina. Ankarina. It's a little stuck to the bottom. I can feel a little bit of coating on the bottom. To do it that high when you got your flour in there, because it'll overwork it. So we just have flour, salt, and baking powder. This recipe will be up on my website. Here I have some milk. I'm using almond milk, and I have a little bit of vanilla. It doesn't use a whole heap of vanilla, which is kind of interesting. I'm definitely not a pound cake expert. So I'm going to put a little bit of flour in here. I'm going to put a little liquid in here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this tastes, because I'm sure Susie was not thinking about almond milk when she made this recipe. Should have ended with the liquid. Give a little scraperino around here to the Ankarina. Ooh, it's a nice looking batter. Very nice looking batter. Very, very nice. I love a fluffy looking batter.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to overmix it. So I'm not 100% sure how. This doesn't tell you like what size loaf pan to put in. So we're going to start with my medium-sized loaf pan, and if there's a lot, then we'll be making two. So I'll be right back. So it doesn't say anything about greasing the pan, but I want to so I can ensure that I get it out of here. This is just an olive oil spray with no propellants. It's just olive oil. So let's see. I don't know how much batter this is going to use. This is an awfully lot of batter. No, I mean, how much it'll rise. Like, there's quite a bit of batter left in here. I'm not sure if there's enough for a second one now. Let's see.
Do you have a smaller pan?
I found this little star pan, so I'm going to put it in here. There's not a lot left. Fill this. A star pound cake.
Mm-hmm.
Should I put a little bit more in this one?
If you got room for it.
I don't know how much is really going to rise because there wasn't much.
What's in there? Baking powder, baking soda?
Wasn't a lot of baking powder. Let's even this out. Get it, make sure it's in the corners or a little star. And here, let me even this out. And I'm gonna put these in the oven. They say an hour and 5 minutes. I don't know, based on the size, and I'm using convection, so if this is an older recipe, they might not have convection. So I'm just gonna watch it, and I'll pull it out when the toothpick is clean. So we had a little bit of development, so we baked them off. The star took about 45 minutes, and this took an hour and 10, maybe, 5. So I took them out of the oven, I let them cool a little bit so I can get them out of the pan. The USA pan version came out beautifully white. It popped right out. It was no problem. This little star, this is a Crofton from Aldi. Hot mess, right? This has like a silicone sprayed nonstick. This has some kind of inexpensive painted on nonstick. This is a cute pan, but also you're not going to get the performance that you get from this $3.99 pan as you are from a true, beautiful USA pan. So this is USA pan.
So are you saying with the Aldi, maybe use some flour with the butter?
Something, I don't know. I had trouble with this. I might try to use this for a Jello mold.
Maybe.
But yeah, it just popped right out of here. So look at this. Here's the Aldi, and here is our pound cake. So kind of interesting.
I see nothing wrong.
Yeah, we've been kind of picking on it. I can't say that we haven't been. So interesting crust to it. There's a lot of sugar in this. A lot of pound cake has a lot of sugar. This kind of got a little rough on the top, like sugary, but that might be good though, right?
Tastes good.
Okay, so here's our cake. Pound cake is a firm cake. So that's our crumb on the inside. pieces aren't exactly even.
I won't hold that against you. You can give me the defective piece of food.
Okay, so let's get a piece here. Erica already tasted it.
Oh, and you haven't?
Here you go. There's your official.
That's my official.
Do I need a fork for this? Not really.
Not really.
So it's really good.
It's got crust. Inside is soft.
It not super dense. I've had pound cakes that are so dense they're just too dense. It's light enough and dense enough. That's really good.
So you're saying it's screaming for something like strawberries?
Yeah, you can top it with strawberries. I didn't put a glaze on it. You could put a glaze on it because I didn't want it to be too sweet. Yeah.
It's sweet enough on its own.
Would be good for a base on a strawberry shortcake. Tasty.
So, Boo, what's your opinion on this? Is it a winner or?
I think it's a thumbs up. I can't say that it's like, wow, the best pound cake in the world, but it's nice and sweet and moist, and it's great for an everyday pound cake. Suzie, you did us right nice, right? From York, Pennsylvania. This is a recipe vault. Suzie's pound cake. Links will be down in the description. I hope you enjoyed this.